morning, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving to all. I don't know who's going to come and listen to this, but I just saw something interesting, and I haven't been um, really, really any posting any videos because one, my computer is broke again. I dropped it. It's charging, but the screen's not cracked. It's just not turning on. So therefore, it means I'm going to have to get another computer, but I'm going to wait until after another laptop, maybe a desktop computer. I don't know, but it depends. Um, I'm going to do that. I'm going to get it. I'm going to wait until after like February because February will be here before you know it. But anyway, I'm going to get another, I'll probably get a desktop computer this time because I don't know, something about me and laptops that don't worry about it. But I'm going to be on here, not going to be on here too long, but I'm going to be on here because I just noticed something. Um, we have two presidents now. I don't know if it's me or if it's just anybody else who notices this. Elon Musk is helping Donald Trump run run the run the presidency, run the White House, and I'm not getting, I'm not feeling that. We actually have a foreigner. Hey, Miss Andrea, happy Thanksgiving to you. I didn't expect to see you. I had a little difficulty. That's why I was late because I was trying to do it on my oops. Excuse this. I don't know if whether you can hear it or not, but I forgot to put my phone on do not disturb. Which hold on to me. I'm going to do that now. Okay. Oh, you did? You tried to call me yesterday? Okay. I'm sorry about that. There seems to be some kind of problem going on, you know. But anyway, oh, I was busy. Oh, what happened was I went to Walmart. Well, anyway, this is the place we're going to talk about it. I'll talk about that with you later. But that was a fiasco. But anyway, I've noticed a place, I've noticed that Elon Musk is having a lot of power in this government. Do they actually feel like they could just take over the government? I mean, you know, I'm not getting that. I'm not really, really getting it because this is crazy. He is doing everything. And I hate the fact that I don't have my laptop now because I cannot sit here and tell you I can't share things the way I used to do with StreamYard and everything. So I haven't written anything down, but that's the observations that I've made. Elon Musk is actually, actually helping Trump to run the government, but we knew this was coming. We knew this was going to come. You know, all of us who didn't vote for it, but and so many people seem to be amazed by it, you know. But that's the downside. But I noticed there is a good side. There is a good side to it. And the good side is there are people who, well, you know, there are Democrats who's going to fight this mess. And there are a I'm tongue-tied, sorry. There are a few people who are going to, Republicans who are going to fight back against Donald Trump's nonsense. Everybody he has picked so far has been worthless. They're just people that are going to kiss his bun buns. They're going to kiss his bun buns for a nice word, because I don't want to get kicked off of YouTube for what I'm saying. But um, yeah, Donald Trump is picking people who have no experience. They're worthless to the position. I'm not going to say they're worthless positions of people, but they are worthless uh, to the positions. Namely, which the one which really scares me is Robert Kennedy Jr. How can you make him head of CDC and the healthcare and pandemic response when he is vaccination deniers? It has been proven that there is no correlation between uh, autistic children and getting vaccines. It's not there. It's not there. Autism, I personally myself believe it's a correlation between the foods we eat. We have a lot of preservatives in our foods that we didn't have years ago. We didn't have years ago. Mental retardation was rampant until 1972, when doctors discovered that using tongs to pull the baby's head out injured people, injured the babies. Therefore, they stopped using the tongs. The tongs, like you pick up, like you would pick up a piece of chicken or something, that they would use those to pull it out there. I myself was born with two black eyes at birth. I had two black eyes, and my mom told me I have a big head, but you can't tell how big, really tell how big it is. You never could tell how big it was until because I always had a lot of hair. But my mom told me that the tongue, she thinks it damaged octave nerve, because I have a slight stigmatism in one eye, and when I get overtired, my eye twitches, and it's just a mess. My eye will go, if I stay too long without my glasses, my eye will begin to go one way or the other. It'll choose to go whichever way it wants to. And she believes that came from the tongue. But there's no evidence that autism is caused by it. I believe it's caused by the chemicals that we eat in our food. We don't eat fresh food. I grew up eating fresh food. There was nothing. My grandmother made potato chips. She made candy. She made cookies. We don't go back to that. She used the pure ingredients. She used butter, not margarine, eggs, but the things are different now. But anyway, that's just my personal opinion. But getting back to what I was saying, what really scares me is that if we let Robert Kennedy get in, there's a possibility that things are going different diseases that were curable in our time that we didn't suffer with, namely polio. I received one of the first, the Salk vaccine, when Jonas Salk found the cure for polio in 1957. I received one of my sister and I, and 1,000 other kids. The Board of Health did a big booster, come and get your children. And I tell you, I was 7 years old, but I can remember two things I can remember. It was a lot of men. They had lines, like 4 lines of people. I mean, people came from all over the city, and they lined us up, and they had the government put out the money for it, for the cure for it. Polio was rampant, and polio one day I would play with kids, and the next day they had the ambulance was there. The kids couldn't get out the bed and go to school. That's how bad it was. And polio, the proper name for polio is poliomyelitis. It was it was it was it's a virus, myelitis. It's an inflammation of the spinal cord, and it will leave you paralyzed if you aren't vaccinated against it. Measles are on the rise. Measles had just about been eradicated. All these diseases that are that were once all you needed was a vaccine and it was eliminated are becoming more and more prevalent now. Measles, take it, measles, things like that. Whooping cough. I hope I'm saying that right. Whooping cough is back out. More kids are going through a whooping cough, whooping cough, whatever. I can't say it, but it is on the rise. All the childhood diseases that were eliminated are on the rise. If by some chance Robert Kennedy Jr. does get into the office, my God, we are going to suffer because there are people who believe this nonsense who will not vaccinate their children, and children are going to suffer. I don't know what to do, what to say, but people won't get it. I know someone who blames it on his son, and he wouldn't get the COVID vaccine. He won't let him get the COVID. He won't let. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. So that's one. I'm not going to say dumb. I'm not going to say he's dumb. I won't say that, but he is misled by it. I'll say he's misled by the controversies from it. It's just like COVID. They said wearing the mask, something about the carbon monoxide in your breath or you breathing. My sister told me something about that. You cannot breathe with it. She fell for it. This thing with Donald Trump has families feuding with each other. You know, Before she got sick, we were like definitely at odds because we were definitely two different people thinking, you know. So that's there. Then he has this lady, Pam, whatever her name. She was the attorney general for the state of Florida, and she's a hot mess. I don't know too much about her, but you can look her up. And they got rid of Matt Gaetz and another one. She's qualified, but she's definitely a butt kisser. And there's more I could say, but I won't say about that one. And then you got, like I said, you got Elon Musk. Then you got Trump trying to tear down the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, which, which keeps corporations from polluting our rivers, our drinking water. So, they're going frack, baby, frack, which is the pumping in the ground, looking for the coal that isn't there, polluting the air with the coal that isn't coal, COAL, not COLD, COAL, coal. And I think they say it gives off a carbon emission into the atmosphere. Coal, we had coal furnace, heating furnace system for the house when I was younger, and we lived on the first floor, right up over the basement. And my God, when my dad would go there, what they call sifting the ashes, like a strainer that you sift flour. They would shake all the coal dust off, all the ash off, and use all the coals that weren't reburned, and it literally kept me in the it kept me in the doctors. I had asthma attacks. I almost died from asthma attacks, and until my mom and dad, they went and got gas. We moved to the second floor. Then my mom and dad decided to get gas heat because it was less dusty. Actually, I was allergic to my dad. It sounds crazy, but I was allergic to my dad and everything. But anyway, the cold industry is trying to come back. They want to bring cold stoves back. They don't. They want to frack for oil. They want to run the pipeline somewhere to, to, be in the heartland, and I just don't get it. These people know all this stuff. If I know it, these people know it, but they still voted for this man. And this man has not been, if the last time I checked, he had 52 days before he became president, and he's already making a class mess. Oh, and let's not forget tariffs. Please, everybody, if you understand how tariffs work, please explain it to those who don't understand. If you don't know, Trump says he's going to take our allies, Canada and Mexico, and one other place, and China, and he's going to put tariffs on all goods coming into the United States. Now they're threatening to have a tariff war. The tariff war being that China, Canada, and Mexico have said, if you put tariffs on us, we'll put tariffs on all goods being imported imported from the United States to Canada, China, or Russia. We will do the same to you. Now, the way they explained it, when I didn't understand it at first either, they explained it as, if I'm an importer, and I'm sending, uh, if I'm a buyer, I'll say it that way. If I'm a buyer, and I take and I spend, I, I send something to you, and I'm charging you $10 for it. Say I'm charging you $10 for it, and you buy it for the 10, you sell it for 20. I'm just saying you know, and you sell it for 20. But if I put a tariff on it, or I raise the price, and I say, okay, I'm going to charge 15 for it. Now you've been selling it to me for 10. I'm going up $5. So that means you'll spend more. So your profit is cut to 5. So to make the profit, to get the $10 profit to get the profit that you're paying for, you have to, they have to raise the price on the goods. Who pays when they raise the price for the goods? It's the consumer. We pay the price for the consumer. We pay it. So whatever this 10% tariff on everything that comes into the United States, there are economists who are talking about this is going to not erect, excuse me, that's not the word I meant to say. It's going to wreak havoc, excuse me, on our economy. It's not going to work. It's really not going to work. Donald Trump he's getting ready to wreak havoc. I really don't think I've explained it that well, because like stuff like this, I have to admit, I'm just beginning to get into it. Stuff like this, I'm beginning to just get into it. But that's the gist of it. If he if he weighs if he puts the tariff and puts these tariffs on these people, put on these items that are coming into the country, we we the we the paying people, we're going to be the ones who are going to suffer for this. Also, if also the great deportation. I saw something, and I can't remember where I saw it, but I know I was watching the TV, and watching my TV. My son bought me a TV, and I was watching it, fiddling with it, trying to figure out a smart TV, because actually the TV is smarter than me, but not for long. But anyway, this happened in 1954. Somebody tried to, I didn't see it all, and I can't tell you who it was, but I know it was called the term wetback, which is a derogatory, derogatory term that the people use and, against Mexicans. That's another one. But anyway, the term is the term wetback, and it comes when from the deportation. They literally in 1954, they literally went to in California, went door to door, rounded up the Mexican workers, and they were never seen again. That was done. So he's got this playbook from they got that scenario in that Project 2025 from something somebody did before, and I wish I could remember where I saw it and what I saw so I could finish seeing the rest of it. Also, the Zoot Suit riots. I think that's where I might have seen it. And if you get a chance to check that out, check that out. So a lot of this stuff that Project 2025 is trying to do has been done, but it didn't work out the way they wanted it to because we had people in government who had a backbone and who stood up to people like Trump and Musk and all these people who want to do this craziness to different people, who want to do it to it. So that's another thing. Plus, food prices, everybody's complaining about food prices now. If Donald Trump is allowed to get away with his immigration thing, his deportation plan. Now, I'm not talking about illegals. I'm talking about people who are legally here. Out of the state of Alabama, the farmers, the people who had the crops, the big farmers, they paid for people to come, gave them jobs, and they were legals. They paid legal money for them to be here legally, and some of them didn't want to leave, but they paid for money for them to come over, do the crops, and go back home. So it's more or less like years ago, there was a show, as a matter of fact, let me see, it was 50 years ago today, actually, because today is Thanksgiving, 50 years ago on Thanksgiving Day, and it was done on CBS, and it was called Harvest of Shame, and it showed the migrant workers who did the job. This is the black job that Trump keeps telling people that telling black people, oh, the Mexicans are taking your jobs. No, they aren't. We've come up. We don't do that anymore because we go to school, and because of the way things are, we have better paying jobs. You know, you know, 16. They were paid like 16 cents a day, not an hour, a day, for doing that kind of work. It's hard work. It's not easy, and they're saying it. And then there was a guy I saw. He was a young guy. He was picking oranges. He got a job, and he was saying, "This isn't enough pay for this. This should be a $30 an hour job. And the owner of the uh, Orange Grove, he was like, these guys don't know what they're doing. They're slow. The the fruit is actually getting piffy, which you know how sometimes you get an orange, it's overripe and it's dried out. Well, that's the kind of vegetables we're gonna get. In Alabama, they had vegetables that were actually rotting in the ground. I remember getting green peppers, and usually I get the hard green peppers. I keep them for a while until I'm ready to make something. But you had to get the green peppers with it was just awful. You had to get the green peppers and use them the same day because if you left them, they rotted for you. So, check all of this. They talk about inflation now. They're saying that this is the last affordable Thanksgiving dinner that we're going to see in the next 4 years. I just saw all of this, and if you get a chance, watch the Midas News Network. I'm telling you, that they give the true picture. They give the true picture of what's going on with Trump. They don't sugarcoat it. They are than actually better than the mainstream media right now because for some reason everybody I think he has something on all these people. I don't know. I really, really don't know, but there's so much. But I just had to come on here and say that. I hope everybody enjoys and has their happy gig there. But God, all I can say is there's got to be some numbers. I'm going to see if there's some numbers we can call and call these Democratic senators who won the election and tell them, have a backbone, stand up to this man. Because if all of this, if the Democrats had stood up to Trump when it first started, if everybody, Republicans and all the Republicans who are against him now, if you had stood up and raised your voice about it now, all of this wouldn't be going on. And all of us who didn't vote for him, we have to suffer through this BS, this BS that is going on in there. We have to suffer for people's stupidity. There's a lot of, I also read where there's a lot of people who are beginning to realize that Trump played them. He played them. There was one guy I saw, he said he was asked why did he vote for Donald Trump. He said he voted for Trump because he promised to get rid of Obamacare. He only wanted the Affordable Care Act. And the gentleman told him, Obamacare is the Affordable Care Act was Obamacare. It was the name the Republicans gave it. He said, for real? And he honestly said, is there any way I can take my vote back? And they're realizing, as the kids say, they effed around and they found that they're finding out little by little. The Palestinian people, they said, they put out, vote for Jill Stein, vote for Donald Trump, vote Green Party, different people, but don't vote for Kamala Harris. If you vote for Kamala Harris, you won't be accepted. I mean, okay? But now the same Palestinian leaders are pleading for Joe Biden to do something. And he is. I think they're going to have a ceasefire in Lebanon, wherever they are now. They're supposed to be having a ceasefire. And of course, Donald Trump will say that, look what I did. I told you I could settle it as soon as I get in office. Don't fall for it, people. It's not Donald Trump. Believe me when I tell you, it's not Donald Trump doing it. It's good. If it does happen, it will be because of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. So, this this whole misinformation thing is crazy. Stand up, demand. What we have to do now is the few Democrats that are in there, you got to stand up and stand up to them, call them, write them, whatever, email them, whatever needs to be done. That's what we have to do, because if you don't do it, we who knows? The next 4, oh God, the next 4 years, I dread thinking about it, what we have to do. And I definitely hope that everybody calls in and expresses, um, you know, expresses that they do not want Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as head of the CDC. All kind of viruses, all kind of drugs. Oh, and I forgot this one. This is another important one. There is E. coli in our meat. Excuse me. And every plant that, when Trump was in office, he took away the meat inspectors. There is, I think they're part of, I'm not sure about this, but I think they're part of the Department of Agriculture. But anyway, the meat inspectors. Now all of a sudden, meat is no good anymore. Eggs may be next. Who knows? And the egg prices are expected to go up. But we as the people, we have to demand that our government officials, the few that are left that are for us, that they work for us, and they don't let these people in who plan on doing, who don't have a backbone. They're spineless like a jellyfish. They're like a cat. If you notice, a cat can squeeze in any hole. It's like he doesn't have a spine. A rat can chew a small hole, squeeze his body through it. The least little hole. That's why you got to patch holes up, or you'll have field mice in your house. So we got to work to get some of these people that don't have backbones, get them out, sit home, write your congressman, and it's even better. You don't have to even sit down and write. You can use your phone, speak what you want to speak, tell them not to vote for so and so, or not to vote no on, confirmation, confirming this one. I read where Ted Cruz was the only person that Donald Trump put in his administration, is in his cabinet, that was qualified for the job he gave him. And that's real sad when the only person qualified for a job is 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 Ted Cruz. That's real sad when that happens. So, yes, please, please do. And with that, I'm going to go. I've been on here a half hour, but that was just some of it. It's going to get better, I promise you. I gotta get off this phone because I don't know how to work this phone very good when I do lives and things. So it's gonna be, it's gonna be. Just bear with me, please, people. Bear with me. Everybody have a happy Thanksgiving, and just we gotta grin and bear it. We gotta fight some kind of way. Have a good holiday. Enjoy. Bye. Until the next time.